Hello and welcome to Kitten Butt Unleashed. And I'm still working on learning how to edit and learning how to talk. I finally got my microphone set up properly, so let's do this, baby. You've seen a cute little cat head mask. That's part of my OBS program, and if you see a black outline box around it, that's because I haven't learned to use masking DaVinci Resolve, but I'm learning, and all this learning stuff is really fun. Anyways, hi. I am drawing a about the artist here, and if you're wondering why I'm doing the audio and video of myself separate from the video, it's because I cannot talk and draw at the same time. It is incredibly difficult, and all you are the artists on YouTube and TikTok and everywhere else that can do it. You're freaking amazing. You've had many years of practice. This is literally my first time drawing and talking at the same time. I couldn't do it, and to save the video, I'm doing a video afterwards, which is something I seen some other artist do. He wasn't drawing and talking at the same time. Like the screen was just drawing and him talking in a separate camera. And that's because there's so much thought that goes into like drawing the pose and remembering the anatomy and things like that. And also, remembering the things that I'm drawing and thinking about all these things. Drawing is hard, dudes, but you know that. If you're an artist, you know that. So let me introduce myself. My name is Christina, but I like to go by Chris because one of my besties decided to call me that one time, and I'm like, you know what? I really like that. It's short. It's more gender neutral. Speaking of which, I'm non-binary, femme-presenting person. I am autistic, and I'm a parent of a little kid. And for their anonymity, I try to keep pictures and videos of them to a minimum. More about me as we watch my cool drawing process here. I'm using Clip Studio Paint. I moved over from Photoshop because Photoshop was chugging. Okay, it was super heavy on the programs and stuff, and Clip Studio Paint just also has a better brush stabilizer and a better everything, basically. I even got the one where I can animate small clips and stuff, which is really cool to do. But I don't do a lot of animating, actually, because I like to make comics a lot more, which is my career. I am a comic colorist, but I also just make my own comics in general. You probably know me as Kitten Butt or Kitten Butt XXX on Twitter and basically everywhere else. And you can see all of my comics, like my lesbian zombie romance, like Social Hangover that I had, over 10 years now ago, and I stopped making that. Currently, I'm working on a long form comic called Ashes and Coffee Stains that I'm in the middle of doing. I guess I would say storyboards for, but that's a term for animation. But I'm in comics. But I went to school for animation instead, so I've got those terms, and I know how to do sequential art. But and it wasn't that much of a jump to go from animation to comics, since I had always loved comics anyways, and I just ended up going to school for animation. And I went to school for quite a long time. I did the 4 years of animation. I did a couple years of fine art painting. I did acting. I did dancing. And then I went for product design. And then I moved from California to Canada, literally across the country and all the way into another country. It's been exciting, and the saddest part for me has always been that I cannot find Flamin' Hot Fritos here, and they are my absolute favorite chip in the entire world. Every once in a while, I get my friends to send me a huge box of Flamin' Hot Fritos, and I slowly eat them over the years. Even if they go stale, I do not give a poop. I love Flamin' Hot Fritos. Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew, which is freaking awesome, by the way. I don't know if it's still in the US, but it's definitely not in Canada here, and I love it. It was like a spicy orange soda, and oh, I love it. But being somebody from Los Angeles, I had way more access to Mexican food, to Salvadoran food, to lots of Latin food that I grew up and loved. And here in Canada, specifically in Toronto, there's not that many close to my house. Like, it is a trek to get to these restaurants, and they're worth it. But oh boy, I am so in need of like a midnight taco truck and a raspado man and somebody selling doodles and like having cut up fruit in cups with like chili peppers and chamoy and all those things. Like, oh my god. Again, like I said, like I'm not a big eater anyways, but I am very passionate about the food that I do like. I like all the things that I mentioned. So, I've had to learn to make tortillas at home, even though the store does have tortillas. I don't like Dempster's. I don't care. I've never had it ever. It tastes like vomit. It's gross. I don't care. Wait, tortillas. All of them just taste yucky. Okay, it's like and also I have but yes, I like tortillas. Okay, but I can make some tortillas at home and things like that. And see, I've really straight off into the food topic here because, again, it's one of the things that I'm passionate about. I love snackies. I love my safe foods, eggs, spicy chips. Obviously, like, I need the caffeine, but I also have 3 cats whom I love, and we also brought them cross country, driving in a car. By the way, we drove cross country with 3 cats, 2 of which had panic meltdowns the first time we ever put them in the car. So we actually had to go to a vet before we left and get the medicine so that they would sleep the entire way. But then our precious little Candy, who is not pictured here, she passed away 2 years ago, and we miss her dearly. She was quite possibly the coolest cat to ever exist. There was not a peep out of her for the entire drive. Just calm, collected Candy. We miss you, Candy. Also acquired 2 pigeons, 2 or 3 pigeons, depending on who wants to come and land. We have Alabaster, who was born on our balcony in one of our little gardening pot. Their parents left them there, abandoned Alabaster, and I don't blame them. They're feral pigeons. So we raised that little pigeon from a chick. There's even a video on my channel here of Alabaster growing up from tiny little chick to big bird. And as soon as they left, I thought they were just gone forever. A couple months later, they came back and they've never left. I think it's been 2 or 3 years now that we've had Alabaster, and they come and they land on our hand and they land on our shoulders and they love being here. And then they decided to keep bringing more members of their flock, and we have this other pigeon. His name is Buddy, and he is like a perfect little round circle of a cute little bird. And then there came Gary, which is another pigeon that landed on our balcony with a string tied to his toes, so we had to catch him in a cat carrier, and I had to like take him inside the bathroom and snip off the string with some manicuring scissors so he wouldn't lose his toe. There's also a community garden that my kiddo and I go to every year, and I plant sunflower seeds so that the birds have things to eat over the winter, and the squirrels as well, and whoever else can reach the sunflower seeds and whatever plants go. I just generally am pretty happy that we moved from LA to Canada, and I'm also really happy that I've got to make a small starting career in art, and I'm still chugging along because I love what I do. I love making comics. I love coloring. If you've seen any of my work, you can see how much I love coloring. I've also done a couple comics, coloring couple comics with friends. One was called Living Heroes. Then I was the colorist for that. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for having me be a colorist. Thank you so much, Erin, for dealing with my ass asking questions and also not asking questions and then also having to be whatever. I know I'm a pain in the butt, okay? And also thanks to Sean Pryor for letting me work on Ignition, which is there, and I did the coloring for book 2 and 3, which was super awesome and super fun. You guys should go ahead and check out those 2 books that I colored, along with any of the comics that you see on my Ko-fi page or anywhere else on the internet. Basically, I only have them a couple places. I have my comics on Webtoons, and I have the rest of my comics on my Ko-fi that are PDF downloads of comics that I've worked on over the years. I like to do slice of life a lot, and then adventure, and then sci-fi, and more, I guess, modern fantasy, modern magic, sci-fi stuff is super really fun. Anyways, it's very nice to meet you. My name is Chris. Again, I have a Ko-fi, which you guys can see in the link up there, and also probably down in what everybody seems to call the doobly-doo. And you can catch me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, and I will try to make these videos as often as possible, because drawing this was actually really fun. Talking and drawing, on the other hand, still a little bit complicated, so I may or may not talk like that in other videos, or I may just do the talking later, which is a lot easier, obviously, until I either get the hang of it, or that's just gonna be my style. Welcome to Kitten Butt Unleashed. Like and subscribe, guys. Mwah. Bye.